5,000 kilometers east of Moscow in the frozen taiga forest lie the untold riches of Siberia, boundless deposits of minerals. Day and night, work never stops in the Neryungri open-pit coal mine. Begun in the 1970s, the immense mining and processing complex was to become a model for Siberia's industrial future.
We've got the whole periodic table of elements, all possible mineral resources, ranging from coal to iron ore, non-ferrous ore, magnetite ore, and so on.
The key to this treasure trove was the railroad. This remote Far Eastern land was barely inhabited when the construction of BAM, the Baikal-Amur mainline, began. 40 years later, the railroad remains an isolated backbone.
Coal and ore are the main cargo. They're generally transported to the Pacific seaports and Chinese border crossings.
Here, less than 1,000 kilometers from the Arctic Circle, the climate is unforgiving. Hot summers followed by winter temperatures that can plummet to minus 60 Celsius. Only very limited agriculture is possible. In the permanently frozen subsoil, even the trees don't grow tall.
Look, it was -5 this morning, and now by midday it's around +20. That's quite a span. There's a risk of rail deformation. So we need to remain watchful.
Branching off the old Trans-Siberian Railroad, the Baikal-Amur mainline detoured away from the troubled border with China through the rich, untapped deposits of coal, iron, copper, gold and diamonds. It was built by tens of thousands of young activists attracted from across the Soviet Union by the call of this romantic, epic undertaking, though the promise of high wages and plentiful consumer goods were also incentives. Building a railroad in such terrain was an unprecedented engineering challenge.
Lots of tunnels, many rivers, thousands of bridges and other artificial structures, and the railway path itself was very difficult, twisting and turning, and of course, the climatic conditions.
It took 10 years to complete the track that was meant to link a dozen so-called territorial industrial complexes like Neryungri.
We felt sure the day would come and BAM would make this land a true gold mine for the country, a bonanza. And not just for Russia, but for the whole world. Any resources that were needed, we could ship them to anyone.
But very soon, inefficiency began to take a heavy toll. The workers' towns fell into decay, losing half their populations as mining and other projects were cancelled. None of the planned industrial complexes were built after Neryungri. Finally, in the 1990s, the railroad was pronounced unviable.
It was a time when we were suddenly accused of having done something wrong. We were told that we've built a road to nowhere, that BAM is completely useless. And that was so cruel and offensive to the builders, who worked not for their own sake, but to help the development of the country.
All hope seemed lost when BAM's fortune took an unexpected turn. With the resources boom of recent years, private companies began developing mining areas in the region, leading to a congestion on the single-track mainline. That sparked a plan to modernize BAM and Trans-Siberian railroads.
Every year the freight volumes are growing due to the opening of new mining fields in South Yakutia.
After modernization, the number of freight trains will increase by several times, and that will allow us to transport more cargo. The ports are also being upgraded to take heavier loads. Now it's up to us to improve the capacity of the railway.
The cost of the large-scale upgrade is estimated to exceed 10 billion euros in the coming years. Whether this time it will pay dividends remains to be seen, but the construction work has already begun.
Since the BAM was first built 40 years ago, we've got new tools, new machines, new building technologies and synthetic materials. So now we can build the new railroad faster and better. We're not afraid of the winter. We're not scared by the permafrost and frozen forest that surrounds us. All this is our land.